Oh boy. Hello, everybody. I am Emmerron. This is the Wireheads podcast, where mostly we are a Cyberpunk Red podcast. This week is gonna challenge that just a teeny tiny bit. Joining me as always, though, is my wonderful co-host.
Hello, I'm Diamond Dust. Nice to see you all again this week. Hello. And yes, Jesus, the Shadow Scar sweep, it returns.
The Shadow Scar sweep. This is why I say we are mostly a Cyberpunk Red podcast, because shock and awe, we do have other interests. Some of them are RTG. Some of them, as you'll all see in this upcoming week, are other games from other companies, because we got an hour-ish, little less than an hour when we recorded it all, but about an hour with CEO and lead designer of several games for Free League Publishing, Tomas. So we got to talk with him last night, from like midnight to 1 a.m. Pacific, because he's in Sweden. And
don't worry, chat, promise story time, that will be on my half of the video here.
We will talk about it a little bit. But that's going to be coming out later this week. So please look forward to that. But yeah, it was a great conversation we had. Got to talk all kinds of interesting things on his end of the world. And so yeah, today we're going to start our episode here. The normal episode where all of you are here participating in a live stream. We are going to be talking about Shadow Scar. So for those of you who watch this and were not aware, Diamond and I, we were both at Gen Con. Unsurprisingly, if you watch our streams, you'll know that, because you saw us, release an episode where we were talking from our hotel room. Nyla, what's Shadow Scar? We will get to that, exactly what Shadow Scar is, but you already know. So we were at Gen Con, and for those of you who are unaware, Shadow Scar, because I didn't know that this was a pre-release, I thought it was just a full-send release like we got for Danger Galdassi, and I'm turning the music down just a little bit on my end here. We got a pre-release of Shadow Scar, the physical starter set. I was stupid and did not bring my copy up with me, so I might go down and get that at some point here to make sure I can show you all what it is. But it is a box set. It's got 5 adventures in it, and it continues Eyes in the Darkness, which is the easy mode. So that kind of serves as like an additional fill out to the box. Very cool stuff. Extremely excited to finally talk about it with you all, because I play tested this thing, and I play tested it almost a year ago at this point. So yeah, I've been sitting on this for a long time, and I'm like, oh my god, I can finally talk, I can finally speak.
How does it feel?
Oh, it's so freeing. It's so fucking freeing. Because now it's like, yes, great. I will not, go too in depth about stuff that we did test and when, but know that it's been a long time. And I am very excited to finally be able to chat about it. So yeah, we pre-released Shadow Scar at Gen Con. I say we, like I'm part of R Talsorian team, but like, I tested it, so I was part of its development to a limited extent, and we got to test it early, which is very cool. So, Diamond, you actually, because Nyla is in chat, he ran our demo table for it every morning of Gen Con for the entire weekend, and had a lot of people extremely excited for it, as Artel mentioned in their press release for the game, that they converted a ton of these, the copies we had at Gen Con, from demos, and people just coming over and being like, wow, that was so fun, dude, that was crazy. So Diamond, what was your, because I know you actually ran some of our longer games as well at the con. What was your experience like running some of the stuff out of there?
So for me, the adventures I ran were not based out of the box set.
Right.
They were based because it was the first scene of Eyes in the Darkness, and running Shadowscar, it feels very while it is still a very new system for me that I'm learning. It's dice pool, where you get a nice collection of d6s to throw many dice to make number go up. In the matter and in the simplified terms, which 6 counting as 2 successes, 4 and 5 counting as 1 success, and 3 and below as not a success. But the game plays in a way that I like to tend to run my adventures. Is very much more intrigue and investigation versus like a lot of action and combat. In fact, combat's also kind of rough in this game if you don't have the upper hand.
Yeah. If you get ambushed in combat, this system can be very, very, very lethal.
Yeah, if you get ambushed, you just die.
Well, yeah, if they succeed at the ambush, yeah, you can just straight.
Oh yeah, just perish. The other parts of Shadowscar that I do want to talk about as well is, of course, having to do with Dolan Pondsmith and many others and their fantastic artwork that they put to here. I mean, Bad Moon Studios in here as well. And I gotta look at the entire credits for this.
I think I know Cody Pondsmith had several art pieces that he was credited with, even, which is like one of them was the image we had in Eyes in the Darkness for the mosaic and like rift diving. There was the giant swirl of chaos that makes that up. That was his credit. So yeah. It's like Bad Moon Studio, Dolan Pondsmith, him, and then I think there's a couple other names like I mentioned. All of them, all the artwork is very, very, very good for Shadowscar. Like that's one of its main crowning achievements, in my humble opinion, is just the artwork is so good.
Also, on top of that, there is so much that shows up in like the system, and the way they run, like the way they wrote the system book, it does follow pretty much analog. Well, not analog. It runs pretty much parallel to easy mode. So if you did play easy mode, literally jumping into the book, there's a few other little things that do get introduced, like pieces of equipment and whatnot, but
yeah, the requisition sheet for the box is a little longer.
Yeah, but unlike Cyberpunk Red easy mode or I guess Witcher easy mode, literally your characters still play to their full capability yet.
Well, and there's also progression rules in there for your characters. That's another thing.
Progression as well. Which that is something that did surprise me, that they threw progression in here. Like they have everything.
Like most start kits have like one or two little things that they might show up for progression, maybe.
Oh, then again, 5 adventures. Yeah, you do need a little bit of progression. You have pretty much everything in the Shadowscar kit, except for character creation, and even Cody Pondsmith talked about character creation. I'm not going to talk about character creation because that would take away from, of course, having having a look at the core book, which I am super pumped for, because like looking through this, looking at the artwork, looking at the like how the game runs, like this. I don't know, Cyberpunk Red. Gotta get something good in my lap here. Come on now.
Well, the other thing is we don't have to talk about it again, but we did talk about the character creation rules on our Gen Con episode. So if you want to see if you want to see what that looks like, we did talk about it, and we do have those out there. It's not going to help you make a fresh character right now because we don't know what all the quirks and advantages and like, you know, the advantage disadvantage system that is like an integral part of that. We don't have all of that. We also don't have all the homeworld abilities for the various worlds right now. So like, still, you would know kind of what that'll look like. But yeah, the full rules are going to be essential, I think, to clarifying that, making sure that like you're not totally lost in the weeds on like what that looks like.
All right. Let's see other components of the Shadow Scar box, and like I will like once my review gets out, because like have you ever tried shooting a video and sometimes your brain just locks up in the process and it's just like, oh, thanks. One of the things that I do like, the maps. Oh, the maps in here. Oh, they're gorgeous. Like very brilliant coloring in here, and also just like even like the brick roads, they've detailed every single like stone in the cobblestone roads of one of the maps, and just the coloring on it, it's so vibrant, brilliant, and it just like it is very good to look at. And we also finally got full character art, like what these guys look like in their, like what the default cast looks like in full. Right. And they knocked it out of the park with these guys. And also there's a reference sheet in here too. It's just everything. Do we want to go through what's in the box in whole?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we can, like, because they've given a high-level overview of the box. Vamp, for just a moment, I'm going to go grab mine, because I'm the only one with a flesh camera here that I can show things off in real space. So,
absolutely.
2 seconds, guys, I'll be right back.
So, of course, one of the other things with Shadow Scar, and I just, you know, I always get excited about this. We'll show it on camera. The dice. They were handing out Shadow Scar dice for free at Gen Con. And I don't know if they'll do it for PAX U as well, but I gotta say, it's a very different way I've seen dice marked, and I think it looks really good, because you got 5 sides with a little wisp going around a circle. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 5 wisps going around a circle. And then finally, you have a green Oni's head, which also seems to match the mask that's present on the front of the box for, you know, Shadow Scar, even though it's a little broken up into, you know, 7 different shards.
My friends, I have the Shadow Scar box. If you're watching the video and not just listening to this, you can now see it on my end of the screen. It is so pretty. By the way, fun little bit of fun fact. This came like this. There is no shrink wrap. At least not on this first run at the con, there wasn't. Because, as we later found out, everything we had at Gen Con was the entire first print run of Shadow Scar. They had none that went to their warehouse. They all came straight to the convention, and that meant they had no time to shrink wrap them. So every copy,
special.
It is really cool. Yeah. And
it doesn't get that little residue that you get when you shrink wrap something as well. Right.
And I got Cody to sign mine, which is very, very cool. So just in case you wonder what Cody Pondsmith's signature looks like. So we got, so I've got 2 pairs of them here.
Why is the box not dented and showing white corners yet, according to Fiberpunk? Well, because we're very careful with our stuff.
Yeah, I have a second copy of it that I bought for a friend that on the way back did get a little damaged. This one fortunately was spared, but yeah, no, It's because, yeah, like, I haven't opened it a ton yet because I haven't actually run the game at any of my physical tables. Because I have not had time since Gen Con. I've been doing a lot of other stuff. So, yeah, this is like an idea of what the dice look like. My light is making these look a lot more like yellow than they look like in person. But they're like a lime green sort of color. Yeah, that's actually truer to like their actual color now that I've kind of shaded them. So, yeah.
I saw that green. I'm just like, are those glow-in-the-dark dice? Did they make glow-in-the-dark dice? It's not so glow-in-the-dark dice.
They're not. This is not something you'll get with the box, but I want to show off because I brag. We got these little pins. Yeah, we all got. If you bought it at the con, they were giving these away with purchase, which is very, very cool. So, contents of your box. We've got your typical intro to the game sheet. And a glossary of terms, which is very useful. Don't worry, I will not be going through this page by page. Artel, I am not going to do that. At least of all the adventures. Ninjas. Yeah. So, similar to the Edge Runners mission kit, we've got 3 books. So we've got one for world lore. If I can get it to come out without damaging it. There we go. I've got one for the system here, and again, like, you can see the covers on these. The artwork is fucking beautiful. It's so nice. It's so good. I'm gonna move my fingers out of the way as much as I can. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. We've got those. Then, if I can again get these out without damaging them, we got folios for every single character, and like Diamond, I believe, mentioned, these are the same characters that you play in the easy mode, except they now have like these full body art shots of their full like person and everything, which is incredible. Like the full body art is like actually insane. So good. And then, yeah, there's Osamu, and then finally Satoshi. So yeah,
I remember though, just as a side note on the characters, Lord Jesus Christ, having a look at these pictures and just be like, all right, so when are the waifu wars beginning?
Yeah. And we all started a war in the room that night, if I recall correctly, over who was best waifu in the box.
They've already begun?
Yes.
No, they have not. No way.
They have. So then, yeah, we got those stunning maps we were talking about. So, like, you could tell these, I believe, are Loki battle mats that made these. So, yeah, these are just absolutely beautiful. They're nice and big too. They're big 11 by 17 spreads. So like you'll have plenty of room on a table for these, which is very, very cool. And then
there's the tokens.
Next up I've actually got is the last of the 3 books, which is the one I'll take special care not to open. This is the Mask of the Green Demon. So this is a thick boy, by the way. Let me see, how many pages is this? This thing is the 52nd page is very blank. That's very odd. So it's very, very odd to see just like a blank framed page, but this is like the one thing that they didn't have, I guess, anything to put on that page.
52 pages.
Yeah, but it's 51 of substance if we're making like, substantive page count. But it makes sense because, yeah, it's a saddle stitch, so you have to have divisible by 4. But yeah, this is a 5-chapter mission technically, but you're probably gonna, like, if this is anything like what we play tested, which it should be, it's the same product. My name is in here somewhere. Yeah, there's me. Right there. Charlie Emmerron, Ember Spocker, baby. There we go. So yeah, very, very excited to be in the book. And so this per mission. Some of these missions took us 2 sessions, running for like 4 hours to get through. This will probably be, I would argue, comparable, if not a little longer than your runtime for the jacket, if you've run that for Cyberpunk.
Oh, really?
You're going to take at least as long as the jacket took. I would guess that you're
Wait, for adventure or for the whole book?
For the whole book.
Oh, okay.
Because each one of those chapters is worth probably a minimum of 4 to 6 hours of game time. Some of them will last longer than that, because some of them are much more like puzzly than the others, where you're like really having to solve through things and stuff. So like, yeah, you're gonna have like, because I know Cody was like, I think, what was the estimate he gave you at the con, Diamond? Was it like, I thought you said it was something like 6.
Oh,
or like, how many hours?
Roughly 6 to 7. It was gonna be like 6 to 7 sessions at least.
Oh, sessions. That I could believe. Okay, because you said something in hours, and it was like way too low, and I'm like, there's no shot. Because if it's 6 to 7 sessions, 4 hours each, so you could do the math, guys. That's probably somewhere in the range of like 24 to 30 hours ish, probably, depending on how role play heavy your crew likes to get. And then we do have a couple more things. So we have a reference sheet. So this is kind of like a mini GM screen, having like all your social action reference, how death works, all that kind of fun stuff.
And the armory is inside.
The armory is on the next page, actually. It's a different sheet entirely. So your armory.
They're all connected to each other.
Yeah, they're not. They're 2 different folios. So you have all your traits here, so you can know like, what does my weapon do? Why is this trait a thing? All of your weapons, drugs, etc. Artifacts, stuff like that. And then finally, at long last, we have, these are all only one-sided. These aren't two-sided like the Edge Runners one were. Oh god, that's serrated.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, that I was not ready for how easy that let go.
They pop out very, very, very quickly and crisply.
Yeah, no, like this is a good thing. So yeah, you got all these tokens. You got some big boy demons over here, a bunch of like little Shadow Scar agents up here. Yeah, so you've got tokens for everything in the box, just like the CEMK. Finally, at the bottom, shout out to Sirenscape. They've got a whole sound set for this thing. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, that is the contents of the Shadow Scar box. Overall, a very nice box. I really, really like what they've included here.
So, this box, do you happen to remember what the like how much it's gonna cost when it's getting released out here? Is it what?
So I don't know what the digital is gonna cost, but I know the physical at Gen Con was $30.
And usually, like any physical copies they sell, the digital is usually half that price.
Ish. Because I think for the CEMK it was 35 and 15, I think, for the physical to digital. So yeah, I mean this might be as cheap as like 10, but I'm not gonna say that because I don't know that for sure. Yeah. And
I've been looking at sort of like the Cyberpunk core book is like 60. Is Sirenscape music stream friendly? I think yes, it is.
Should be, yeah.
Because I know Cybernation Uncensored uses Sirenscape a lot.
Yeah, I would say if you're worried, check their terms of use. That's what we have to do whenever we're going to stream something like that. But yeah, I believe every time I've looked at Sirenscape's TOS in the past, they are very okay with you streaming using the sound set because it doesn't reduce the need for that sound set for others. It's not like the same as like music where it's like, oh yeah, there's a clear music tonality or whatever in the background. Some of their sets might have that, but it's not like, I don't think anything that they do is copyright protected in the way that like you'd get DMCA hit with it on like YouTube or whatever. So yeah, I think you're probably safe there. But again, if you're worried, check their TOS or contact them, and I'm sure that they'll give you a clear answer on that.
Do you want me to reach out to Rob or Rob and see if we have an answer that's actually out there publicly while we're doing this?
That's Sirenscape's deal, so I don't know if we have.
No. I'm talking Rob Barefoot. Like, it's seeing about like how much the box set is going to be when it goes on
LCC
sale.
just posted in my chat. Actually, it's 15 digital. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh heck yeah.
1530 is the breakdown.
What a fucking champ.
Yeah, Rob said today to be 15 digital, 30 physical. So yeah, it's very good $30 box. Honestly,
I wonder if it's also going to have Roll20 support.
I think they announced that they were going to do something like that, but I could be wrong.
I hope so, because like I would love to be able to bring this to the folks on StartPlaying as well. But on top of that, folks, one of the other things with Shadow Scar that I have found, this is probably one of R Tal's easiest games to get into.
Yeah.
It is a dice pool system. It is very much count how many pips you have and then roll the amount of dice equal to that and then count your successes.
Yep. Very, very simple. Like, if you've ever played, you've ever played Yahtzee, you'll be able to figure this one out, basically.
Vampire the Masquerade. I guess Year Zero, but Year Zero is a little bit more of a fluid dice pool. But yeah, it's very much 4 and higher. Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately there is I know that we did get the release announcement earlier this week, and there's stuff all over right now. As we're recording this, it comes out tomorrow. By the time you're watching this, if you're watching this later on YouTube or Spotify, this is out. Shadow Scar's easy mode not easy mode, the starter set rather, is out everywhere. So definitely, if you're interested in getting a hold of a copy, it is out there. You can find it. It's very, very purchasable for you, right? But yeah, it's excellent game. The value for the box is very, very high. And there's like just a ton of information in that box for you could probably run a fairly comprehensive game, even with what's just in there. Because like, sure, you might need to run with the pre-gens for now, but like the fact that we have advancement rules for them, and that like, even though maybe we don't have all the equipment, spells, and things like that you can acquire in the full game, like this could keep you busy until we get the full rules. Because last we heard, the plan that is subject to change is that we get the rules or the core rules for Shadow Scar at PAX U this year, which is in December. So if all goes according to plan, that is when we might have that out. If it does take longer, they are, R Tal is very, we release it when it's ready and we don't do it anytime before. So until you get like an official release announcement, the date is always subject to change. As it sounds like for this, we barely got the starter set for Gen Con, which is why none of them are shrink wrapped. But we still have it, so that's all that really matters in the end.
I personally I'm very happy though that, and of course I want to thank, the folks over at R Tal, Rob Barefoot especially, for because like me getting the kit, it was just very much Rob Barefoot. It's just like, hey, you're a media, right? Yeah. Here, They're like, what do you want me to do with this? Like, go review it. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. Well, I take care of my people. Go do it. So don't worry. We are reviewing this, and something else actually. I got to talk a little bit with Holly, Dolan Podsmith's fiance?
Girlfriend.
Partner? Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. She thought that we were,
right. That was so funny. Did we talk about that in our Gen Con episode?
No, we've never talked about that.
Like I know we talked about it enough with our friends privately, but yeah, Diamond and I at the convention, Dolan's girlfriend pointed at us like, "Are you two like a thing?" And we're like, "No, we're podcast co-hosts. That's about as intimate as this gets." It was
like, we all partners. It's like, yeah, we're partners on podcasts. Like,
right?
Oh, I thought you were like married. Like, no.
It was so funny too.
I'm pretty sure Emmer wife and Valkyrie would have serious questions to.
Well, it was so funny because I came home and it was one of the first stories I told my wife, and I'm like, "Yeah, so this happened," and she said, "Again," because this is not the first time something like that has happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, again. It's just funny as hell. It's like no one ever gets who I'm married to right in group settings. And I'm like, why? Like, unless it's like, of course, like my family or the people who know me really, really well. They're like, oh yeah, I know your wife. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like, it was just funny.
But then also, I got to have a look at like some of the character art for Cody's like home table that Dolan has drawn. Folks, it's a little steamy. Some of it's a little steamy, but I gotta say, if this is some of the stuff if these characters are showing up in the core book, holy moly, they look fantastic. Like, you got everything from across all the different realms being represented, whether it be 5th Street, whether it be Refuge, or even Katsukuni itself. Which, speaking of which, did we have any other realms that showed up in this box, or was it just the Katsukuni, Steel Court?
The core four, yeah, because we've got Nakatsukuni, Steel Court, 5th Street, and Refuge. Yeah, Refuge is the name.
Yep. Refuge.
Yep.
And I know Cody. I unfortunately, due to my body deciding that no, we're not going to seminar because cramps. The seminar. Did Cody happen to talk about anything else that was like possibly coming in the future by chance, or?
So he did talk. Well, when we interviewed him, he talked about a couple worlds, and he mentioned pretty sure all the same ones at the seminar. But they weren't like, these are coming. They're more like, here are the ones that the agency is aware of that sit uninvaded for the moment, right? They're not invaded realms by the yokai. They are, clear of them for now. So those are Greengrave, which is a eco-apocalypse Earth where plants have just overrun everything. And so humans have been forced to live in harmony with the plants because they literally can't fight them back. And the worry is that the plants are becoming sentient. Which is,
why do I get Little Shop of Horrors vibes from that?
Yeah, it's very feed me, Simo. Yeah, no, it is that very, very that. The other one he mentioned specifically at the seminar was White Squall, which is think Mortal Engines, for those of you who understand that reference, where you, instead of giant roving city city things that are like mobile on land, they're giant city ships on the ocean in a golden age of piracy that is global, right? So the cities are on these ships, and you know, there are pirates and they raid them, and it's very cool stuff. And I think I've got we might be getting a thunderstorm coming in. I could hear the thunder behind me now. Oh boy. It's like, what is that sound? But yeah, as it currently stands, those were the two he mentioned. When we interviewed him, if you go back and watch our Cody Pondsmith interview, there was a third he mentioned. I don't recall its name offhand. It was basically like a super occult kind of world, which oddly did not have invasion by yokai yet, which is very, very interesting.
They're probably dealing with their own demons.
Quite literally.
Watch as this is somehow Call of Cthulhu making a fucking cameo in here.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Straight up.
No, I remember when we were interviewing Cody and when we were talking about, like, you know, the lead up to the release of Eyes in the Darkness. There's the possibility of some crossover to other R Tal worlds.
Yes. Well, and he mentioned, because like LCC pointed out in my chat here, that the plan for Shadow Scar, and I'm curious if this is going to start this month or next month, or maybe only after the core rulebook comes out. But the plan, like Cyberpunk Red, is that Shadow Scar will be getting a monthly DLC, and that several of those are going to probably be bringing new worlds into the mosaic and detailing that out. So very exciting, very, very exciting. I do love Cyberpunk Red's free DLC model, and I am like 110% behind Shadow Scar getting the same treatment. It's very, very, very cool.
I'm trying to think what other things with the kit that is coming that I'm just there's just so much with Shadow Scar. I'm just so excited to see come down the line, and like literally this kit, they leave the end of the story open-ended. They do. So I wonder if that's going to lead into the book. I wonder if that's what they're doing.
I mean, it'd be interesting, right? But I think that keeping it open-ended is exciting just from the standpoint of, like, you never want your starter kit adventure to have, like, a hard, fast ending, I think. Unless it's, like, a full-blown campaign kind of thing.
And I guess that's like me looking at the 2 box sets that came out. The starter kit, like, it doesn't. I think that's going to preserve its longevity a little bit more, and plus, like those adventures, I imagine that Now I'm trying to remember, like, because I haven't gotten through everything. The adventure itself, is it like back to back to back to back, or is there like gap for some downtime between? Oh, okay.
So
I wasn't sure if it was like other mission. You could sprinkle other missions between.
You might be able to, because some of it is like, we discovered this thingamabob, and now we need to like research it or whatever. But some of them are very back to back, where it's like, this has happened, we need to respond immediately, right? Without like giving any spoilers away. There are moments in the adventure where like it's very like, this has happened, we need to move. And it feels more like you're probably going to play this end to end than you would be to like sprinkle in things. It's not like Tales of the Red Street stories where you can kind of like take them in any order and kind of mix and match. This is very much more like you start at chapter 1, you finish at chapter 5. You really don't do a lot in the middle. You're probably gonna, or you start, if you really are a purist, you're gonna start with Eyes in the Darkness, go chapter 1 through 5, and then you've got a 6-part story that'll probably take you, like I said, somewhere in the neighborhood of probably about 30 hours to complete between it all, including the easy mode.
And I'm thinking, like, normally for me that's like 3 hour sessions, so that's like 10 sessions worth of like game time.
I'd say like 10 to 11 sessions for you. Yeah, because like Eyes in the Darkness, both times I've run it, took 8 hours total for us to get through it. So it's like, plan on 8 hours for that. And there are several of the adventures in the box that I would also make that claim for. They take about 8 hours. And it's, yeah, like there's a lot of content. A lot of content. For a starter box, this is a very, very good box. Like, I think the only other game that I've gotten a starter box for that was like this kind of complete, or beat it in completion in any way, is Dragonbane. Dragonbane's starter box is like unfucking believable. The only thing that it's missing are like table-sized maps for each of the adventures, which this has. So like, but in exchange, you get a much longer campaign and the full rules for the game with that starter box. So it's not as much a starter box as just like a full release, basically.
So I'm just kind of wondering though if there's going to be more adventures to be written though, because I feel like with because I feel like with Shadow Scar, and I look at this from the same side as like Blade Runner, where you have investigations that you are working on that I wouldn't be surprised if that might be future expansions.
I have the Deep Magic right here.
Oh, you do?
So, well, this is the little pamphlet that we got distributed for both Edge Runners and Shadow Scar at PAX U last year. So, a Jumpstart kit is the first thing listed. That's what we just got. The Storyteller's tools. So they're developing a Storyteller screen. That's like a GM screen for it. Very sweet. Cool. Very, very cool. So it's going to have all the info you need, as well as ability cards for players to quickly reference their techniques and Mikio. So we're going to get like cards.
That's going to be so nice.
That'll be really cool. And then after the core rule book, we are going to get adventure books specifically. They mentioned that.
Oh,
so we know that those are coming. We don't know when, but we know they're on the horizon. We're getting miniatures, courtesy of Monster Fight Club, 32 millimeter, and miniatures and terrain, unique to the worlds of Shadow Scar. And then there are also going to be player-facing supplements as well.
So this now makes me wonder: is there also going to be Monster Fight Club going to do a skirmisher of this as well? Oh, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, to answer that for the audience real quick, I don't think we're gonna get a skirmisher out of this. I think we pretty much have what we need for the game to be fun and entertaining as it stands. If we have the minis though, because I think the thing people forget is that we already had Cyberpunk Red minis for Cyberpunk Red before Combat Zone ever existed. Like, we've had packs for those for days, for years. I think there was like 2 years there before Combat Zone was even a thing that we had minis for the game. Like, that came out shortly after the Jumpstart kit. Because I know I was able to buy them, like, it was like when Gen Con couldn't happen 2020, they just released them online for you to buy, and I bought a whole set of them. So, like, probably it'll be something like that. We do get a skirmish, it'll be kind of interesting for sure. But I don't think we need it, personally. I think that...
So sorry for giving you all the stare of death there. Just phone call at the weirdest times, like, oh boy. All right.
No, yeah, you're totally good. But yeah, I was just saying, I don't think we're going to get a skirmisher. I think that this truly is just like minis. Because we got Cyberpunk Red minis a long time before Combat Zone.
Oh, yeah, and the big book of Shadow Scar battle maps, which, you know, we got to see that at the demo.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool. The demo version of that battle map book is like Cyberpunk's is great. Shadow Scars, though, is so good. It's so
like Loki really
good.
it's like Loki really refined what they did with Cyberpunk, and also I've seen like some of their fantasy map work, and like Shadow Scars become this very different, very pristine like map, and it's just like this is great. Yes. I'm just super stoked for Shadow Scar. Now, Emmerron, time to ask you the hard-hitting questions. When's the Shadow Scar stream going to be happening? When is Neon Inferno taking on Shadow Scar?
Probably when season 2 is done.
Probably
when season 2 is done. We're going to take on Shadow Scar next. Just for the JSK, you understand? Because I think we can knock that out in... I mean, it'll be in probably the downtime between the seasons, honestly. While I'm developing one, because then it's all pre-written and all I got to do is load maps and modules into a Foundry or other kind of VTT world. Then I can do that. Like, I can do that easily. So yeah, I ultimately think like we're gonna do it. It is gonna happen. Technically I could also run it during my subathon, but we'll see where where all of that lands, because I don't know quite yet what I'm gonna do for that. But yeah, there are some opportunities coming up soon where I'll probably stream the Mask of the Green Demon.
I see Jesus Crust going over to Tabletop Simulator right now. It's like, what you doing over there?
Yeah, right.
To understand, Jesus Crust helped develop a kind of a impromptu Shadow Scar foundry that we used for our demo of Eyes in the Darkness.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was very, very good.
Okay. Oh no,
sorry,
I
just need to check the weather, because I'm like, it's really fucking going nuts out there. It's a lot right now. I'm like, what is happening? Why?
You know, it's bright and sunny out here in Nebraska.
Yeah, I live in the middle of the desert, and it's like, good lord, all of a sudden just thunderstorm. Hello.
And I'm thinking with these new adventures, though, I wonder if it's going to be like a bunch of steps leading up to a major fight with, well, you know, the big scary the big scary yokai that keeps being brought up in the world lore, which, by the way, you can check out when the Shadow Scar Jumpstart Kit comes out this Saturday. Saturday, right? Or tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. It's going to be Friday.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Okay. All right.
Tomorrow.
I've got,
yeah. So you're going to be able to pick up the Shadow Scar starter set tomorrow. And Rob has said, as far as the timing of when tomorrow, you might ask, when he is awake and able to, is I believe this answer. Yeah. So yeah, it's
stop bugging him. Leave him alone.
By tomorrow afternoon, probably you'll be able to buy it, because last time when we had the CMK drop, I think it was around like somewhere between 10 a.m. and noon that dropped Eastern time.
11 a.m.
Was it 11? Okay. Yeah.
It was noon Eastern time, 11 Central time, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I would not necessarily expect a terribly different time schedule this time around. But just so y'all aren't hitting refresh on the RTG store page at midnight tonight, you know, if you're watching us live, rest assured, friends, you will be able to get a copy. It'll probably be tomorrow afternoon. That would be my guess. But yeah, ultimately, Shadow Scar is one of those games that, like, the first time I laid eyes on it, I wasn't sure what to think about it. The moment I played it, I was like, this is so good. It is so well designed. It's so well considered. It's very accessible. like, I think Holly was advertising it in the booth as neurodivergent friendly, which, like, I will say, like, it's probably one of the most accessible RPGs I've played for quite a while, because it really does not require a, like, crazy strategic, robust understanding of TTRPGs or, like, a litany of different traits and stuff like that, because all of the glossaries and stuff are given to you for the things that it does require you to know, for, like, weapon keywords. And most of the stuff you need to know is printed on your character sheet. Like, you really don't need much more than that.
All right. So, I think we're coming up on what? Coming up on the hour mark?
Sort of. We're just shy of it, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on Shadow Scar?
I guess other than that, I really do look forward to see what else is coming from the mind of Cody Pondsmith and his team, which I'm not sure who all is part of the Shadow Scar team yet. I am still kind of working my way through the credits to see who's who, because like I've kind of become familiar with Cyberpunk Red, like. Who are the usual suspects writing for those expansions?
Yeah, so
just wondering if it's a different crew.
That's the world lore. So hold on.
System.
I'm working on it, because I'm gonna see if in the system it's got more about. Yeah, there we go. That's much better.
Oh. James Hutt also helped in the writing of this. Okay.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Of course, we got Bad Moon, Cody, Creation Studio, Dolan, Unsane Corin, and Silas Gorey for the illustration.
Yeah, so...
Cody did the layout.
And then editing is Emma Yasui and Matt.
Very small crew compared to what I see for a lot of the Cyberpunk books usually.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that this is pretty in line for the most part. With like a Cyberpunk Red product, it's just that normally we don't see like just like one entire page dedicated to the credits. It's usually like a lot of those names that are listed as single lines in there, like playtesters especially, are usually listed as like a block near the bottom, whereas here all of them are given sorry guys on the mic there, each one is given its own line, so it kind of lengthens it a bit, but it's about the same as Cyberpunk product, and you'll see some familiar names in there. But it is weird to see a book in here without J grade. That is a very strange thing to see. It's not common to see a non-J Gray credited R Tal product.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, yeah. Again, Cody Pondsmith, if you are watching, we are cheering for you, and I cannot wait to see what else is coming out for Shadow Scar.
You have done an amazing job with this, Cody. You should be extremely proud.
My family is personally excited to break this open because they are very much into yokai and lore like that. Like I was talking about this to my sister, and she was just like, "You better bring that over here. You better bring it over here." It's like,
yeah. Bring them the Eyes in the Darkness and see what they think, and then like expand and be like, "All right, now." Yeah, or just bring
I'm gonna run it for them.
The whole thing end to end.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's very exciting. I know I've got my if we weren't already doing what was it? I have to count all the physical games I'm playing right now with the crew I normally play physical tabletop with. We just finished our run of Cyberpunk Edgerunner's Mission Kit. We play a Witcher game. We're currently playing Call of Cthulhu, and we've got our actual Cyberpunk Red game that we've had ongoing through like the Tales of the Red Street Stories campaign, and like now we're in like kind of the epilogue, wrapping character stories up and doing our own thing with that. So like all of that right now, and like a few of my friends are also very like into Dragonbane right now, so it's like somewhere in there I'm going to try and wedge in Shadowscar, because like most of that group actually played in the playtest with me, so like they know what the game is and why it's so good, and I'm like, it's out, we need to do it, like we have to do this. But yeah, very, very excited, cannot wait to play more of it. You will see it here on stream at some point, but I will probably let others take the lead off on it for now, because I don't actively want to spoil anyone, but I will have a first impressions video coming out as soon as I can finish a proper read through of it, not having run it since the playtest. So I will give you all my first impressions of it once I have the time. So but yeah, that's going to do it for our first part of today's episode. So as usual, if you're here with us live on Twitch, which we stream this, we are at a new time. I know last time I said, oh yeah, we're gonna do it on Wednesdays still. I lied. As easy as I breathe. It's Thursdays, 4:30 Pacific now that we are running these, and so you can look for us over on Twitch during that time. Or if you're on Spotify, obviously, like, we're going to just continue the episode. If you're here on Twitch, we're continuing the episode on either one of the channels you're watching this on. However, if you're on YouTube, this is the part where we go over to Diamond's channel, or the second part of this. We are going to be talking all about the latest Cyberpunk DLC drop that we actually just got. Was it today or yesterday?
Today.
It was today, yeah. Brand new, fresh 11, off the presses. Yeah. If we had kept our old schedule, we would not have this to talk about yet. So it's very exciting that we changed. So go over to Diamond's channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and I will see you all over there. Link is going to be down in the description for you to do that easy. So otherwise, we will see you all very, very soon. Have a good one, guys.